Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Psychic Goddess Erica, with a much requested, highly requested topic, and that is about pendulums. What are they? How do they work? Why use them? What can they do, etc. So I'm gonna try to summarize the most that I can into this video. So go ahead and hit that like button as you join into the video, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. So today we're going to be talking about pendulums, and I have a brand new pendulum I just got over the weekend. My other one, actually, it's I had to cleanse it. It's over there right now. I don't feel like getting it up, but pendulums, you can get them with different crystals and made of different materials that you feel will be beneficial to you in terms of the spiritual and metaphysical properties. So the one I had previously had several different kinds of crystals inside of it for chakra healing, chakra cleansing, and actually broke after I was doing a cleansing. And so typically, just so you know, if a pendulum or a piece of jewelry that you have programmed with an intention, especially if it's for protection of some kind, if it breaks, or if it was programmed with any other kind of intention, it may be, even if it's like to manifest self-love or something like that, if it breaks, it usually means that it's served its purpose. Like the spell is done, the spell is casted. You can either cleanse it and use it again for another purpose and repair it, or you can get something new altogether. What I did with mine is I just kept the little the pendulum part, that's the weight, and I just left it out with all my other crystals. So cleanse it, and that energy is still over there, but I don't think I'm gonna repair it as a pendulum this time around. So anyways, I got a new pendulum, and a pendulum basically is anything with a string or a chain and a weight. So you can actually make them. You can make them with a string and like a material that you find that has a weight. You can also use necklaces for pendulums, which I do often. Like if I have a necklace on and I want to use it for either a pendulum question or inquiry, or for dowsing purposes, such as by dowsing, people used to use pendulums to locate items or to locate water in the ground. The military actually even hired psychic dowsers and things like that, pendulum dowsers, to locate where booby traps were hidden in the ground and things like that, etc. And so if you hear sniffing in the background too, my dog is being nosy. So anyway, so basically a pendulum is a string or a chain and a weight. And so you can make them, like I said, as well, or you can use a necklace, things like that. So this one is gold. I'm drawn to gold lately because I am also manifesting prosperity, luxury, abundance, wealth. It's also a divine masculine color. If you guys don't know, gold is more the divine masculine energy. Silver is divine feminine energy. So sometimes I know people will be like, oh, that's tacky to wear gold and silver at the same time. I do it on purpose sometimes. Like the other day I had on a necklace, my rose quartz necklace, and it's got gold wrapping around it, but the chain was silver, and I did that on purpose to combine the divine masculine and divine feminine energy. So anyway, back to it. So this one is gold. I'm drawn to gold lately for that go-getter energy, get things done energy. Also, when you find pendulums like this one, this particular shape is a wand. So again, you can use it to cast spells, and I've done a few videos like this before. I don't think I've done the one where I've shown you how I use my actual wand. I have an actual selenite wand, but I have done it with like my incense magic video where you see me write spells in the air. You could do the same thing with this, or if you're using the pendulum to cast a spell or to clear energy, the wand is casting the spell as well. Now this one, they told me, was a chamber pendulum, which means it opens up, and that means that I can put like my spells or incantations or whatever it might be written out and put it inside for added energy, or even essential oils or other crystals I can put inside this for added energy. So, and I didn't even know it could do that at the time. They told me after, so that's probably why I was drawn to it. So the pendulum, how it works. Your intuition actually works through your nervous system as well. That's why you have like gut feelings, or you feel sensations when your intuition is going off inside, like within your body. That's why we always say, like, pay attention to your body, pay attention to those gut feelings, or what is your body feeling, what's the temperature you're feeling, etc. The more you pay attention to those things, the more you will know when your intuition is speaking to you. But it does work through the nervous system. So although it may look, for example, like I am moving this on purpose, I'm actually sitting still and my nerves are moving it. The small little micro movements of my nervous system rather, are moving this right now. And I'm highly connected to my pendulum. The more connected you are to your own intuition, I find that the more strong your ability to work with pendulums will be, and they will respond to you right away. You see how it slowed down? I can stop it with energy that way. You learn how to manipulate in a positive way the energy to how you need to use it for the answers or whatever it might be. So I know people are triggered by the word manipulate, but in this case I'm meaning it in like a positive way. So look, yeah. So anyway, so pendulums, what can you use it for? You can use them to get yes or no answers. You can use it to get timelines, or some people even will do it to get like initials and things like that if need be. There are pendulum charts that you can use for that, so I'm not gonna like show you one. I've drawn them in the past before, but now these days I don't even use charts. I just connect to the pendulum and let it speak to me directly, because my clairaudience, which is clear hearing, is really strong, so I'll just hear the messages. My clairvoyance is also really strong, so I'll see things sometimes, and claircognizance as well, which is just knowing, or even the clairsentience of just feeling things in my body psychically. So I don't really use charts anymore, but you can. All you have to do is Google pendulum charts and you'll see different kinds. There's also pendulum books that you can get, like that will have different charts in them if you feel comfortable with using a chart to, like I said, you can get yes or no answers, numbers, time frames, months, initials, things like that with those charts. You can also use a pendulum to locate missing items or to navigate. I cannot tell you which way is north, south, east, or west. I can't do that. I know some people can. I know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Beyond that, unless I'm seeing that happen, I don't know which direction is what direction. But I can use a pendulum to tell me which way to go, which way is what, for example. And I've located missing items in a house with my pendulum as well. And like I said, ancient peoples, our ancestors, etc., would also use it to locate water in the ground, or other resources they would be needing or looking for survival purposes back in the day as well. So when working with a pendulum, first thing you want to do is cleanse it. So I'm really connected with pendulums. I work with them, so they start reacting to me right away. But this is still brand new, so I want to cleanse the energy from whoever touched it in the shop that had it, and whoever made it, and all of those things. So let me just grab. So this is actually brand new sage I just got. It's even got the description on it anyway. But this is, in particular, this is banishing sage, because it's sage with dragon's blood resin on it. It's white sage with dragon's blood on it. And dragon's blood is not literal blood, for those of you that are like, oh my god, what's that? No, it's a resin from like a plant. So I'm gonna use this to cleanse it, and I'm gonna do a quick cleansing of my home really quick, and then I'll be right back. So for me, when I'm cleansing a pendulum, it will kind of just slow down once it's cleared away. And this particular sage, like I said, is for banishing. So what that means is it's banishing away any negative energy, any negative spirits, anything that is not here in love, unconditional love, light, my highest good from love, or even anyone who I live with, etc. So look at so for me, so you guys might understand. And I know it may look like I'm moving it, but my wrist is only moving because it's pretty weighty. It's got a good weight on it, and it was moving pretty fast, but I'm not moving it purposefully. So for me, when it's spinning clockwise, it's calling something in. So I feel this is calling in, obviously, the positive energy for me to work with it. When it is going counterclockwise, it's removing something. Forward and back is a yes or affirmation for me, meaning that something is done or completed, or a yes answer to something. Side to side is a no, like a head shake, or a negative, or like a, not affirmation, but whatever the opposite of that would be, like no, not that. I can't think of the word. When it goes diagonal, that means something is undecided still, or that there is not a clear yes or no direct answer at this time. Like, for example, like if somebody is saying like, well, are they telling me the truth? And you get and I get a undecided answer through a diagonal, it would mean that maybe it's a half truth. Maybe they're only telling you partial the truth, but leaving something out, for example, you know? And when it's spinning, again, it may be, it's like the thought process of the information being channeled through and connecting to spirit and my intuition, etc. So it's cleansed now. It's giving the affirmation. So when you guys get a pendulum, you want to ask the pendulum to show you a yes response, because your yes response may look completely different, how it comes through you, how it's channeled through you, than it does through me. So mine, like I said, I explained, mine is a forward and back. Yours may be something completely different. So always ask for your pendulum to show you what a yes response is, what a no response is. Look at it switching up. That's the no. What an undecided response looks like as well, and maybe even what a response looks like for connecting. And you see how it's spinning already. That happens to me sometimes, by the way, guys. When I begin to channel, sometimes I will repeat things, or even get a stutter. You may even want to ask well, clockwise always is calling in, to be honest. Counterclockwise always is removal, just energetically. So at least from the way that I was taught. If you were taught something different, then that's cool. Okay, so you want to ask first. So let me see, is there anything else I am forgetting? I already said, so like you can locate things with it, use it for navigation, get very clear direct answers. I'm laughing because my guides are just, you can use this as a great divination tool when tapping into mediumship skills, mediumship abilities as well, because you can, it's like taking the information that you're receiving as the channel, as the psychic, or for the person on the other end, the client or the person you're reading for. That way they can also see the physical response coming through as well. So it's a great tool for that. One of the things that you can also do is if you have a client who has, maybe they have really sensitive questions that they want answered for themselves, but they really do not want to share too many details or speak it out loud. I, for example, can do a reading where I will connect to their energy and they can ask the question in their minds, and spirit will answer through me with the pendulum with a response for them to visually see. And I may say, like, for example, I might tell the client to say, okay, when you're asking spirit the question, go ahead and say, I'm asking the question now, so that I can then relax, be the channel, and let the response come through. And then when they say, I've got the answer, I see the answer, then I will say, thank you, we'll go on to the next. But they're not necessarily speaking the question out loud to me. If it's something they're uncomfortable with, that way they can receive the answer themselves. And someone is agreeing with this method right now with a yes or no. So that's another way you can use a pendulum. You can, I also mentioned clearing energy. So you can also clear the energy with the pendulum around you, especially before preparing for some sort of a ritual or something like that. Or you can clear your chakras with it. Rather, you can see which chakras are need work or need balancing, and which ones are balanced and are in good health. So like, let's see, there's chakras over my hands, right? Let me just see. See how it's spinning clockwise? It may look like it's backwards to you because you're on the flip side of the camera, but for me, this is clockwise. This means the chakra that is connected to my left hand right now is currently in balance now and healthy, and there's the positive affirmation confirming. Now if it was off balance, this may have gone clockwise, or maybe like a scattered a diagonal kind of a thing, or maybe it wouldn't have been spinning at all. Thank you. But you can also clear energy from an area too by having it go counterclockwise. So their spirit is just demonstrating now. So let's just say I was clearing my home, right? I ask that all energies that are not in my highest good and not coming from a place of unconditional love in my highest good be removed. Thank you, so it is. When the spell is complete, when the clearing is complete, please show a affirmative response. Thank you, so it is. Thank you, so it is. And usually after I do any kind of clearing, for balance of course, I like to go clockwise, or right, for me it will automatically go clockwise because they know how I operate. I will then go clockwise to call something in to replace it. So calling in energies that are in my highest good, positive vibration of prosperity, love, health, wealth, joy, happiness. Thank you, so it is. When the spell is complete, please show me an affirmative answer. Thank you, so it is. So like you can go around the house with that as well, or you can do that over one of your loved ones or your pets. I had to clear my pet the other day, for example. So things like that. And like I said, you can figure out which chakras need work or healing or balancing with this as well. And then you can also use it as a tool to help clear out the negativity and then call in the positive energy or balance things out as well. So that's just another example, in addition to like the locating things or the yes or no answers, or if you're making a chart and you want like a time frame or a number or initial, etc., things like that. They're good for that, or even like I said, as a mediumship divination tool to help you out so that there's a physical response. Because like, you know, I don't necessarily need divination tools, but I'm a very textile person. I'm a very visual person. I'm a visual learner. Like you could explain things to me all day. I need to see it happen. Like if we're playing a game and you need to explain the rules to me, I'm not going to get it till I see somebody play the game in front of me, and then I'm like, oh, I see what's happening here. So this is why I personally love divination tools, because I'm a very visual person. Also, what I will say is with pendulums, in particular, if you're trying to get answers about the future, that can be kind of difficult, especially if you're a beginner, only because to work with the pendulum in a way that, give me 1 second, I'm just gonna get a sip of my chai, thirsty. To work with the pendulum in a way that is not swaying either more so to the answer that you just want, or swaying to the answer that you fear, because it's hi baby, my dog is right here, because it's so connected to like you. In order to get the most clear, honest answers, if you're trying to understand not even just the future, but I say that because I honestly don't recommend too much using the pendulum for trying to predict the future for that very reason, because it can be difficult to get into that energy unless you've been working with it for a long time and really have very strong self-awareness. Like now I know I can predict clearly with future predictions with it, but in the beginning stages of me tapping into everything and my abilities, I did find it difficult because I knew the answer that I wanted, and unless you are in a very neutral place and truly ready to accept the answer, whatever it is, like basically you're just ready for the truth. you know, you're just ready for the truth. Unless you're really fully there, like if you know that one answer or the other is going to completely destroy you or break you or make you worry out of control, then you shouldn't work with the pendulum. But whether that's you asking questions for the past, present, or the future, but especially if you're trying to get for the future, you want to be as neutral, as calm, and as truly ready to hear the honest truth as possible. So that means waiting until you've calmed down, or waiting until maybe some time has passed to where you're not as emotional or something like that. So you can predict the future with it, yes, and I'm comfortable with that now, but I know in the beginning stages I was not, until you have that self-awareness. So just keep that in mind for you and yourself, and you can, or you know, maybe even if you try it, you know, just figure out the warning signs of when you're not fully ready to be asking certain things, because the pendulum is really direct. That's the thing, it's really direct. It's not as much for interpretation as, for example, like certain visions or certain like metaphors you may hear when giving a reading, or even seeing certain images on a card, for example. So it's very direct. I also find the pendulum is really good. For me personally, my experience, mostly good for tapping into energies as the present moment, or like maybe even things that have already happened in the past, like especially like if I'm asking like a mediumship reading and I'm like trying to find out what happened, and I'm asking spirit, you know, or whoever energy came through from a place of love to talk to either me or a client, you know, about things that have happened in the past. A pendulum is good for that, especially if you want like yes or no answers for things like that. But yes, you can use it for the future as well. Just it's self-awareness, balance, neutral energy, and really being truly ready to hear the truth is really key when working with the pendulum. So if you know you are a very anxious person, hold off on working with the pendulum until you are calmed down and in a good space or ready to hear it. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to think if I'm missing anything else I need to cover. So you can use sage to cleanse the pendulum. You can also use you know, other things like Palo Santo or copal incense or sweetgrass, any of those incenses. If you don't have like the actual sage, for example, sage incense will do the trick. Copal incense, sweetgrass. You can also use a candle, like let's say this was lit. If this candle was lit and I held the pendulum over it, not in it, you don't want the pendulum to catch fire or to melt or anything, but just over it, the candle flame can also cleanse. So like, let's just pretend it was lit. I'm not going to light it this time. The candle flame you could use to cleanse the pendulum as well. That's another way to cleanse the pendulum before use or in between uses. You also want to cleanse it in between uses. The same pendulum may not want to work with you all the time. Like this one's gold. Like I used to have several different pendulums made of different kinds of crystals for different reasons, because I may need a different energy that day versus yesterday, for example. So you may want to have options. And like I said, you don't have to have literal pendulums, although these are great. I especially love the ones with the wands on it like this. You can use necklaces. This is my boyfriend's necklace. It's a lion. But you can use this as a pendulum as well. And I have used this as a pendulum before as well. So you can use necklaces or anything with the weight. You know, honestly, if I took these earrings off and held it, these would probably act as a pendulum as well if I really needed them to. So you can make them. You can make them with a shoestring and a rock. You know what I mean? So that's these are a little bit of quick lessons on pendulums. Hopefully I covered everything, but if you have any questions about anything I said in this video or anything like that, feel free to comment below, as well as let me know any future videos or future things you would like me to talk about. Do I offer pendulum readings? Yes, I do. Just make sure that you let me know ahead of time that you are requesting a pendulum reading, so that I'm prepared, that I either have a pendulum on me or I'm wearing a necklace that day that I can utilize as a pendulum, you know. So yes, I do offer pendulum readings as well, especially if you want like a really quick yes or no answer, that kind of a thing. And the information on where you can go to book a reading with me is down below in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.